So BTC is 90K. I haven't said that in a very long time. We've just had a monster pump in the market. Is it time to liquidate some bears? Are we going to get a massive squeeze, guys? All these alts are ripping all over the place. BTC is pumping. Is it time to short? I've got you guys covered. We've got a massive, massive show. Let's hit this. There we go. It's so good. Let's get right into it. Guys, and remember, as always, hit that like, hit the bell, and hit the subscribe. Mr. Bullish is here. Are we bullish or bearish still? What are we doing?
More bullish than bearish. All pending a tweet, of course, as usual, but I'm much more bullish than bearish at this point.
So we'll call it bullish. Bullish. Okay, I've gone double bullish today. Okay, this is good. This is good. It's nice he's coming out of his shell. The meme master is coming back. Okay, let's see what is going on. Well, in fact, I mean, we need sunglasses at the moment. Everything is pumping. It's literally one of those things where an hour and a half ago or 2 hours ago, whatever you touch just turns green and you feel like the master. Okay, so everything is pumping at the moment. Congrats to everybody who got some longs. Congrats to everybody who is a profit. Let me tell you quickly what I've just done. Obviously, giga long at the moment. I'm $500,000 long. I can't even believe I'm saying that at the moment, but we've hit some big resistance zones and bang, bang, bang. I've popped out some head shorts. So I'm going to, what I've done, Popcat, Peppy, head short, Whiff, head short, a couple of others. I've opened them right now at these resistance zones. We got a lot to talk about here. We might blow through. Remember, these are hedges, guys, so they're a lot smaller positions, and it's just in case we get some kind of reversal. And Quantum says everything pumps except S. Yeah, that's because you're in it, bro. It's always like that. I had that with 𝗠𝗆 for 7 days. Everything was pumping except 𝗠𝗆 was doing nothing. But now finally, it started waking up. Mo says everyone is bullish. Time to start shorts. Mo, you're probably not wrong, bro. Okay, let's go. Let's see where we are. And look, it's a beautiful thing. Okay, liquidated time. It's a beautiful thing to see BTC pushing up like this. Now, we obviously now have to reassess where we are, and because we are now moving into our incredibly big danger zone that I've been talking about for the last couple of weeks. We've actually taken out all that liquidity on the monthly liquidation heat map. That has now been wiped out. There's not much more here for the bulls or the market makers to come and take out. So unless we get massive retail influx now, this is a big danger zone for me, and I'm sure a lot of you guys agree. Things are a little bit hot at the moment. We're sitting at resistance. So talking about BTC, what is important to me here? That's the 100-day moving average in the way. This is 90,800. You can see in this region, I've also got an order block right here. Okay, so that is a danger zone for us. Then a little bit higher up, this is going to tie in really nicely with the daily chart that I'm going to show you. 95K order block, massive, massive daily underbelly there. Big resistance zone for me. So these are the two big areas. So if there is going to be one more squeeze here, this 95 looks very, very nice to me. And it's quite interesting. We did see a tweet earlier today. Gordon actually dropped this, but this is the CoinGlass liquidations. And he's basically showing up to 95K. There was $5 billion in liquidations. Okay, so if we do push that 95, the guys are going to be feeling the burn. Okay, it's going to be a proper clean out. Now, in terms of the liquidation heat map that I like to follow, you can see we've absolutely wiped out everything to the upside now. So this thing has been, we've been tracking this thing for a couple of weeks now. Look at that, 91K. We've taken out that upside liquidation level, and this was a very important zone for me. So interesting to see it not rejecting hard just yet, and the Bitcoin consolidating a little bit. So that is, I mean, that is a little bit bullish there for us. Remember the rules. What we want to see, guys, if we can consolidate under these areas, you're going to get the same result that we had in the last couple of days, where these alts start ripping. So as long as you consolidate under these resistance zones, then you get these pops on the altcoins. So if we get Bitcoin just chilling over here, you're probably going to see some more alt moves there for us. So that would be ideal. Now, in terms of key levels, big zone has been broken for us. So this is going to be super nice for us when it comes back down. 88K, massive area now. That's our 200-day moving average. That's our horizontals in play. And when we drag up some fibs, whenever we get the full rejection, you're probably going to find some kind of T up there. And at the moment, you can see my 236 is floating just a little bit lower under that region there. So 88, call it 88.5 to 87.5. That's the banger for me. Okay, 88.5 to 87.5. That zone over there, that must hold. Okay, we don't really want to dip lower than that. If we go lower than that on a rejection, these alts that you're sitting in now are going to get flushed, and any late longs are going to get caned. Okay, so just remember that. And Mo says his favorite short pick is ETH. Mo, I'm not against that one either. I quite like this Mo. I quite like what Mo's got there. Okay, a little bit of ETH. Maybe we can send that one a little bit lower, because I'm talking about ETH just now, and fuck, I got a funny story for you. So I hope the ETH guy. Okay, I'm gonna talk to you guys about that now. Okay, let's talk who got liquidated. Let's talk what's going on in the last 24 hours. Now, yesterday I was saying if we did squeeze a bit higher, we were going to get quite a lot of shorts getting liquidated. You can see we $230 million in shorts liquidated here on the right-hand side, and we've got a total liquidation of 379. Now, imagine the smell if Bitcoin rejects. Imagine all the late longs that are going to get caned now. Okay, that's something you guys need to just be aware of as well. And I was going to play this earlier, but now things are pumping again. But let's look at this, what we expected from crypto in 25. Are they going to give that back? Are they going to give it back to us now? Are we going to get it in the next half an hour? So if anybody is feeling confused about the market, remember, there's nothing wrong with feeling confused about the market, because even some of the greatest minds that exist feel like this at the moment. Stocks are falling like the trade war is escalating. The US dollar is falling like the trade deals are near. Oil prices are falling like rate cuts are not coming. Gold prices are rising like rate cuts are on the way. Tech stocks are falling like we're entering a recession. So if you're feeling confused, guys, everybody is confused. Okay, that's why we focus so much on the hot zones. We focus so much on the support, the big support zones, the big resistance zones. We long on supports, we shorts at resistance, and we play that game. Okay, until everybody knows what the fuck is going on, and then we see what happens. Okay, so in terms of gold, I must confess, James, I've opened half a gold short. Okay, this is the rejection candle. He's not happy with me. Okay, he's not happy with me.
That one didn't go very well yesterday, did it? Did it survive?
It didn't go very well, okay? But I like the look of this existing rejection candle on gold. And if the macro situation changes, which I'm about to show you, it might just be. We've got a couple of trade deals coming through at the moment. Gold should then take a back seat, even if it's a short-term situation. So I didn't go full clip here. I've just gone a little half position in LBank at the moment. So I've started a short. If we pump up a little bit higher, then we're going to add to that short. And then we're going to be in full size. What I'm working on here for gold at the moment is that it's not going to break this high. I love this rejection candle. Obviously, we wanted to close down here. That's going to be a bit more bullish. And then any pumps higher, we can add to. And then I am looking for that. Okay, so wish me luck.
Everybody had that $3,500 psychological level in there, and they all shorted it, and it fell over exactly there.
3,490, 3,500 on the button. Okay?
On the button.
On the button, guys. Wow, what a savage. Okay, let's go. So Peter Brandt is basically telling us gold is overbought, US stocks are oversold. Okay, a little bit of a divergence there. Now, in the near term, maybe. In the longer term, we only just begun the flipping. So he's convinced that gold is going to carry on this move. But based on what we're seeing, obviously, stocks on support, gold at price discovery, basically, and looking for some kind of swing reversal there on the two, and just to bring it back in line. Okay, now talking of trade deals, why is the market getting bullish? Well, there's kind of things like this happening. US said India has finalized the terms for a trade deal. That's obviously helping sentiment at the moment. That's making people feel a little bit better with things at the moment. Then we've got guys saying keep an eye out for a Vietnam tariff deal. Remember, Nike shares are very reliant on Vietnam because a lot of these shoes are manufactured there. So if there's going to be a tariff on products getting made in Vietnam, that's obviously going to be a problem for Nike stocks and things like that. So there might be a deal around the corner on that one. So that is looking positive for sentiment. Then the Japanese, it's quite a story here, but Japan's US Treasury holdings grew from 573 billion in 2007 to 1 trillion by 2010. They print the yen, convert to dollars, and buy US treasuries to stimulate their economy and drive the US rates down. It seems like a perfect partnership. They're saying this is stealth QE by devaluing the yen. Okay, very interesting what's going on here. And all the finance or the economic brains will be thinking hard now. But this is going to be part of the trade deal. So there's obviously going to be some kind of back and forth here between the two. But it looks like something is going to be happening here with the US and the Japanese, and something that's going to make everybody happy. Now let's talk about China, because we had some commentary from President Xi.
You are an asshole. A proper one.
Was that really him?
You are an asshole. A proper one.
Well, anyway, it might have been. China is doubling down. China's just announced that they will be pulling back from US private equity investment. Chinese state-backed funds are halting new investments in US PE firms due to government pressure. You guys can see these Chinese, they're not backing down. Okay, they ramped up their tariffs. They've done all these things. I showed you Boeing yesterday. They've sent Boeing back to America because a $55 billion Boeing is now costing 100 billion, or 55 million. It's now costing 100 million. Okay, so it's not worth it at the moment, and they're firing back with these tariffs. So this is going to be the big one that we need resolved. When this one gets resolved, it should be some kind of market explosion. Okay, we are looking, when this thing gets sorted, some kind of even bigger move than what we are seeing at the moment. Now, Jason says, don't forget to TP. Jay, give us some shorts there, bro. Give us a couple of setups in the chat. We've got Jay here in the house. He's our DGen scalper in chart hackers. And I mean, he's doing some brutal shit in there. But anyway, Jay, give us something. Give us something there. Jordan says, great call on 𝗬𝗍. Guys, look, we nailed fucking a lot of those long entries yesterday. Ondo, 𝗬𝗍, bangers, hit that first zone, absolute banger. I really hope some of you guys have got that. Now we're going to look at these charts. We're going to update. We're going to say, is it time to take profits? Is it time for head shorts? I'm going to cover you on all of those entries. But fuck, guys, we really did nail it. Okay. It's nice. You know, sometimes you don't always get it right, but when you nail it, fuck, we must celebrate those moments, because those things are absolutely cooking now. Okay, let's go Tesla. Now we got Tesla results today, and unfortunately, we didn't get that bleed out into the zone I wanted, and now Tesla has turned green with the rest of the market. So it's going to be a little tricky for me to try and bank an entry leading into earnings if we don't have a big dump or we don't have a big pump. We need to now wait for the results and then make a decision as to what we want to do. But Tesla insiders have traded Tesla stock on the open market 164 times in the past 6 months. Of those trades, 0 have been purchases and 164 have been sales. Okay, so there, the whole crew, and Elon's not here. I mean, the whole crew is busy dumping here. Kimball is busy dumping shares here as well. Is that, no? Who's Kimball? Is this a cousin or what? Or is it a brother? What's going on here? Let me know, James, if you know who this is.
That's his brother.
Is it his brother? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Kimball's bailing 42 million. Okay, nice. So here we are with Tesla earnings tonight. I'm not comfortable here. Okay, you can see it hit the top area of the entry, but my real entry was going to be 214, 213. You can see it literally hit the top of that box, 222, and that's obviously not an entry for me. So want to see how this thing plays out. I think we need to now give it time. Let the earnings come out. Let's see how bad they are or how good they are. And based on that, then we can choose our path of attack. Okay, so shorts from 270, longs from 213, 214 for me on Tesla. Remember, we're going to trade those on BTCC. Okay, so BTCC, we send crypto there, and then we can trade stocks and all these things. Remember, guys, everything I'm covering today is under the show description. Just go to the show, click under more, and you're going to see everything from my accelerator course to all the exchanges that I use, all these things I talk about. You're going to find it all there for you guys. Now, interesting things yesterday. We had US-based Bitcoin ETFs on Monday, got their biggest day of net inflows since late January. Is sentiment finally changing? Then we saw the liquidation levels. So we know that there's interest here, and they are bumping it up. And the more they bump it up here, the more these bears have to close their short positions. And if you closing your short position, you typically have to buy it back. So that creates that squeeze that we talk about all the time. So Tony the Bull dropping some bearish things here. He's saying it has historically taken Bitcoin over 1,000 days to touch TD risk once it's painted on the chart. It just appeared at 142K when the quarterly opened with a TD9 sell setup. Could you wait 3 years for new all-time highs? Okay, so James, what do you make of something like this? I mean, this looks pretty bearish. When this thing prints a number 9, it looks like it's a bit of a burn for 1,000 days afterwards on BTC. So 142K looks like potential target here for this guy, I would say, but it's generally pretty bearish overall for 1,000 days of what we're looking at the moment. So
Makes sense
What do you
to
make
me.
of this?
Yeah, blow off top, get a new high there, and then fall over.
Bullish, guys. Bullish. Okay. So, yeah, shall we short BTC, guys? We're at the zone. Jay, let me know. Let me know in the chat here. Jay, are we shorting BTC here? I have grabbed a couple of shorts in the meantime. So, let's cover you guys on the daily for BTC. But remember the plan. What I wanted to see was a pump through this resistance zone, then some kind of mega trap, and then a nice rejection. So this is still my preferred option. This move down to the 78k region is still obviously my dream zone. This is this is the plan playing out perfectly and getting what we want. Now this whole thing was based on a pump into one of these regions, cleaning out that liquidity, and then sending it lower. Now we've obviously gone a little bit higher here today, and we're gonna have to see how this now plays out. I was looking for a little sweep maybe at about this 89k zone, so we have pumped higher, but we are nonetheless at a resistance band. And if this is going to play out, guys, my next zone is going to be about 79-80k for a nice long on BTC. And Generic says short that shit. Okay, sir, let's short that shit. Okay, here we go. I'm in WEX at the moment. You can see I've opened Popcat short, I've got a near short, I've got a CAS long and new CAS long. I closed that big one yesterday, and I've got super long here. And let's say you could say the market's recovering a bit, the alts are recovering a bit. Let's do a BTC short here quickly. Jay, where's your stop? Is it above the wick? Let me know. 400x BTC. Sounds like a party. Okay. Let's go. Okay, cool. There we go. Let's short BTC quickly. Okay, we locked and loaded. Jay, let me know where I'm putting my stop there, sir. Okay, when entry? Well, there's your entry, bro. Let me know where I'm putting my stop there. I'm assuming you want me to put my stop above the high, 91.5, somewhere around there. Okay, keep me posted, Jay. We'll see how we go. Okay, now let's get into the source, guys. This is why we're here. We're here for the action, and we're here for the altcoins and all these fun things. So let's start. Sorry, guys, I'm so childish. It's been like this. Okay, you get it, but now we want to go up. Okay, so let's talk about these altcoins. Why is dominance so important here? Well, guys, this is a massive weekly dominance resistance zone. You can see we're getting a reversal candle here. If we can just close something like that, then we should start making our way lower down. So this whole green band up here that I've drawn for you guys is a resistance zone. It is a rejection area. So in theory, we could actually push a bit higher before we fall over. But we know this region as a whole is a danger zone. We're getting lots of bearish prints, but we can see our oscillator has turned a little bit bullish again. But you can see we're getting lots of bearish prints here, and they are trying to push this dominance down. Okay, near shorts. Yes, William, I'm going to show you exactly what is going on with near. Okay, let's go. Okay, BTC, you got the drill. Let's talk ETH now. This is the big one, and this is hilarious, okay? Because, I mean, I feel sorry for this guy, especially if ETH is going to pump. A whale sold 2,000 ETH worth $3 million at 1,591, and then he opened a leverage 10x short position on ETH. Is this going to be the double blow? Is this going to be the full Kansas City shuffle on this guy? And the max, is it going to be max damage? I found this video of him trading it live. Here it is. It's an actual video of him trading ETH at the moment. So let's look at the ETH chart. Okay, so look, I don't know what his liquidation level is, but right now this man is underwater. Okay, so here we are. Here's our resistance zone on ETH at the moment, 1745. That's a big resistance zone. What do we know on the 3-day? We are still on the 3-day chart. We actually are bullish ETH. Okay, this is super strong bullish divergence here playing out, and it's playing out across the board on all of these altcoins. So this is still telling me the story that any pullbacks are short-term pullbacks, and we are looking to grind higher at least until this divergence plays out and then falls over again to the upside. So that is kind of what we're looking for. So if you're looking for a short on ETH, you can see we are at a resistance zone right here. Bang. Okay, there we go. 1745. That is our danger zone for ETH, danger zone 1. And then as we start moving a little bit higher, you've got your other rejection zones, and they are now that 50-day MA has moved. So it's 1830, and then your next area is going to be 1900. So guys, those are your short zones on ETH. Those are your rejection zones to the upside. And in terms of support, you can see it held these supports really nicely. 1570 as support. That was a good area there for us. Now, if you're looking for shorts, guys, ETH, that's your area. That is where you're going to take it. And yeah, that felt like me with this 𝗵𝗔𝗟 as well. This 𝗨𝗊 and hype. I'm actually upset with those two. I'm upset that they wouldn't fall over. Okay, now, guys, let's get into the alts here. Solana, here's one of them. And this is the big one, okay? This is the SOL on the 3-day. There are 3 major rejection zones for SOL that keeps things super bearish for me. All of these rejection zones are still well under the 200-day moving average, and that can keep us super bearish for a very long time. So if we're getting a pump out of SOL, these are typically the zones where we pay attention and we start just being a little bit aware of what's going on. We start being a little bit more careful. So 147, danger zone. 160, danger zone. 170 to 180, danger zone. Okay, so if you're going to try and hold the SOL long all the way to the 200-day MA, it's a risky play. If it goes there, well, fuck, that's pretty impressive. Okay, but that 200-day MA, big danger zone there for me in that 170 to 180 region. Syed, can we short 𝗨 now? Bro, that thing chopped me up so many times. Yeah, we'll take another look, okay? Let's go. SOL, here's on a lower time frame. So just a reminder as to where we are. We're moving into our first danger zone. You can see on my oscillator, I'm getting multiple bearish prints here. So things are saying we're getting exhausted. But remember, when the market sentiment changes and everybody gets aggressive, these things can sit at the top for a lengthy period of time. So we might have a situation where we have to print multiple divergences here, maybe some spider webs before this thing starts rolling over. So, but in terms of danger zones for us, we are here now, guys. TP zone, 146 to 152. This is a danger area for me. This was a big area for us before. We've nailed shorts in this zone previously. It has done a lot in terms of resistance as support. So look out here, 150s, 147 to 152, danger area here on SOL. If we do start breaking through, here's your next big dog. Okay, that guy, the 200-day MA sitting up there, 179, 180. You can see that's a massive area there in terms of SOL. Okay, where is your Solana support? What happens if SOL rolls over? Let's just cover you guys with some support areas. 133, watch 133, guys. Big support zone there. Okay, that's a big one. And then 126. So we've moved it up from yesterday. Remember, as the price pumps, you have to raise your fibs. Now we've got new confluence, 126, 134 for SOL. These are your interim bullish supports. Okay, mark those levels down on your charts and just play safe. Okay, you can see we at resistance now for SOL. Be super careful. And then let's take a look at what's going on here. So here's my whiff short that I banged out. I banged out 𝗬𝗰 again. I've got a Fartcoin short and I've got my gold short that's running. And then 𝗬𝗰 obviously cooking. SOL is cooking. I'm $112,000 long 𝗬𝗰, $98,000 long SOL. Obviously hoping for a pump. Okay, I really want to see this thing really start pumping now and then really start printing for us. So the AI XBT you see there is a trade setup I dropped in Hackers about 2 hours ago. I was taking a scalp long on that thing, so I gave it to the Hackers guys and told them I was taking it. Look at this, whiff's going to come for more here. These alts aren't done. Okay, Carson, I've got near for you, bro. I've got a near chart for you. Okay, let's go into 𝗬𝗰. Now, 𝗬𝗰 lending protocol saw a sharp uptick in inflows yesterday, led by Navi protocol with a massive $22 million inflow. Now, we noticed that in the price action with 𝗬𝗰, it was super flat. Everything else was pumping. I was feeling very lonely there, sitting in a 𝗬𝗰 position that was putting me under pressure. But we maintained, we backed our support zones. We added on the entry zones from yesterday that I gave you guys. And now we are reaping the rewards for being patient. And what is the reward potential on 𝗬𝗰? This takes me back to the chart yesterday. This was a massive moment for us. We want to close above this 50-day moving average, and you can see we're finally putting our head through the 50-day MA. That's pretty bullish for me on 𝗬𝗰. So as long as we can close above here on the 3-day or even on the daily, then we got a good shout to push this thing higher. 2.76, 3.1, those types of targets for me on 𝗬𝗰. So right now, guys, all we need to do, 2.29 on the 3-day chart. That is going to be our big support. This is the game plan, okay, right now. And we've got some beautiful zones to the upside on 𝗬𝗰. And this is us, okay? So this was this absolute banger. Now, yesterday, Yesterday, I had a view. Okay, yesterday I gave you guys my view as to what I was expecting. We knew we had bullish divergences on the 3-day charts. That's telling us we're looking for higher lows on the altcoins. We knew some of the macro situation was going to be sorting itself out. And what does that tell us? Well, we should have some kind of bullish bias. So what we were looking for on a lot of these altcoins was a higher low and a drop into 382s or 618 fibs for these big moves, okay? And this is exactly what we got yesterday, okay? We dropped into our area here, 2.18 to 2.12, like clockwork here, keeping it bullish into the zone. You can call it a trend retest as well. And now we've pumped up into our first danger zone. So in terms of why is he opening shorts? Well, here we go. Okay, we are at our first resistance zone. Now, what I want to see for 𝗬𝗎 is I want to see a continuation pump. But because of the nature of the markets at the moment and the nature of the political side of things, we are getting interrupted by tweets. We are getting interrupted by tariff wars, and people are a little bit uneasy with how things go. So I don't want to close my 𝗬𝗎 position, but what I can do is whenever we hit big rejection zones, I can open hedge shorts in these areas to cover me in case there is a downside move. Then if they start ripping up higher, that's great, okay? Then we get more energy and we remain net long on this thing if we are looking for higher levels. So right now, this is a rejection zone. I've opened up a hedge short now on 𝗬𝗎, and there's potentially going to be a dip lower. Now, if it does dip lower, guys, just like I've shown you, that 50-day MA is going to be our banger. That is the one we really want to finish above. So if we do drop below, we want to make sure we recover pretty quickly. So 2.28, mark this one on your chart, 2.28. We want to hold support on that 50-day MA. So mark that 2.28 for yourselves. Then a little bit lower down, it's also a banger. 2.18, okay, 2.18 as well. That is also a banger zone there for you guys. So anywhere in this region is going to be your next potential pullback zone. So if they do sell off, you're looking for a bounce somewhere in that region for a continuation, okay? So keep it pretty simple. You'll probably find a trend there as well that you can use. And then upside targets are the ones I gave you on those higher time frame charts. Okay, let's go. Let's talk about some memes. Okay, it is time. Okay, remember this guy. Who remembers 𝗲𝗏𝗏? 𝗲𝗏𝗏 is approaching with your order from the Chipotle Mexican grill. Now, for those of you who remember, and I'm sure if you were around when all the memes were pumping, 𝗲𝗏𝗏 is the meme oracle or whatever. Everyone was just hanging on to every word he said about these meme coins, and things like PopCat and things like 𝗏 and 𝗏𝗏𝗏 and all these things were absolutely flying, as you guys will remember. And, you know, is it time to start looking at a couple of these? Yes, sir.
I just saw yesterday, the day before, a screenshot of his wallet. When it was at its peak, it was over like $10 million. I have no idea what is that now, 100K maybe?
95% down?
Yeah,
okay.
He got
95% down. Is he still tweeting? Is he still active?
It was somebody else that posted it. I haven't seen anything out of him. Well, I think he's still shilling that SPX 6900.
Okay, he had a whole list of things. But yeah, guys, I mean, here's the picture. Okay, here's 𝗏. Okay, hit our first zone yesterday, gave you guys 2 zones for 𝗏. Okay, and now to be fair, my big zone was lower down. I wanted the trend, I wanted the 618. Okay, we didn't get it. We got 618s on things like Ondo and a couple of others. 𝗏 didn't hit the big area, but that was one of our zones that we were watching, this 423. We dropped into that, held the VWAP, bang. Okay, so nice move there on 𝗏. In terms of danger zones, be prepared for a rejection. If it is going to reject, you cannot be frustrated with yourself. We are at a rejection zone. So 4797, this is your danger zone number 1. Where's my next danger zone? If this thing squeezes a bit higher today, where's my next possible short zone? 0.53. Now, what do? Let's say I'm bullish on 𝗏. I want an entry. What can I do? If I jump in now, what happens if I get rinsed? So you obviously don't want to try and long the top of something, and you technically longing the top when you add a major resistance. Now, obviously the crypto gods can be in your favor, and there can be momentum, and it can pump. But what would you do if you long this thing here, and suddenly the market dips, Bitcoin dips 2 or 3%, and 𝗏 drops 8%, and you 20x leverage long, and you get rinsed. And by the time it hits your entry, you're ready to go, but you've just been rinsed and you're too scared. Okay, so just think about that when you are feeling super bullish on everything. Now, obviously, this thing can rip. So, you know, in terms of next targets from here, there is a potential 11% move from here to the upside, okay? A potential another 11% to our next rejection zone. How do you do that now? Okay, how do you go about things? So the first thing you want to do is make sure you know where your key support is. So you're going to take your fibs from the lows to the highs, and you want to try and identify some bullish fib zones. So we're going to bang out your 236, and you can see, no coincidence again, look how this ties in. 0.45 is now going to be your support level that you're going to use as your first line of defense. 0.452, that's your 50-day moving average, that's your 236 fib. And if this plays out nicely for you, you might see some kind of flag develop here that bang gives you that entry into the next zone. So all you need to do, guys, 0.4527, use that as your support. And you're going to look for a breakout trade to 53. That is your next possible area. So that is your bullish scenario there now on WIF. So if things play out nicely, we get a little dip. That is probably the safest trade I can give you, the safest setup that I can see based on what I like to look for. Okay, so 4527, play that area. If there is a slightly bigger drop, then you just go onto your 382, which is going to be at 435. Okay, so mark those levels on your charts, mark those areas down, set your alarms, guys. Remember, you just hit the plus button on the side, and then you can set your alarm, and you can also move it up and down. Okay, so you can just drag it around, and then when it hits that area, you're going to get pinged. Okay, so guys, play safe here. Okay, danger zone there on WIF. Lots of possible upside.
Yes, sir. You got
bonk for You got bonk for us too? It's ripping at the moment.
Oh my God, don't lie. Okay, bonk, then I've got stopped out, obviously, on that short. So let's go peppy at the moment. So remember, guys, all these meme coins like to rip. When retail comes out and market sentiment changes, these things are going to start popping. So let's go peppy. We've touched on this one yesterday. Big targets ahead. And looking at the bigger side, you can see the major targets here, 91 and 105. Those are your big ones there for peppy. Let's dial in. Okay, look at this. Danger zone for us here. Bang. Okay, first zone of interest. And then we've got another one here to the upside. Peppy, we're looking at 92. Okay, so in terms of where can Peppy go next, there is one more. Oh, there could be multiple more, but what I'm looking at the moment, Peppy, guys, bang. We've got probably another 8%er to the upside, but how do you snag an entry? Well, right now, you can see we like to trade area by area. What typically happens is you consolidate under resistance and then you pop into the next zone. Then you look for some kind of consolidation and pop into the next area. That's pretty much how we're trying to play this thing, or how we want to play these alts if we want to keep it as safe as possible. So if you're jumping into Peppy now, what is your current risk? Your current reasonable risk is about 4%. Bigger risk is about 10%. And then in terms of upside targets, I can see an immediate target here of about 8%, maybe 9 at a push. And then there's a lot of levels to the upside, guys. And that is where we're going to engage in these higher time frame charts. And this is where it's so important to track these higher time frame charts that I drop in Chart Hackers every Monday. I update all of these things for you guys, and you've got all those levels. So in terms of Peppy, what do we do now? Well, again, for me, if you want to be safe, this is a danger zone. This is a take profit zone. Alternatively, you're looking for consolidation on lower time frames and a pop to the upside. What is my safest area that I can use in terms of bullish levels? Well, you're going to take your fibs from the lows to the highs, and the same story that we've just done on that WIF chart. You're going to bang out your 382, and that is going to be your first degen zone. So support for Peppy that you can use in the most, like the safest I can give you, 8151. That's your safest support level there for Peppy, and obviously looking for higher. Okay, 92 makes a lot of sense to me, but if it starts rolling over, guys, that's what you're watching, 8151, and here's your next zone, 7912. Okay, and Michael says Peppy old school stuff. Guys, I like we know this Peppy is a pumper. Okay, and here's Popcat, another one. This has also just come alive, and Sol means waking up. It means Solana is waking up. It means things are absolutely cooking at the moment, and this is a good look. I'm very happy to see these things waking up, because it tells me that we're going to have a shit ton of trades. We're going to have a lot of fun on these things. So the next dip that we get in the market, we're going to be loading up on these bonks, whiffs, popcats, all these things. Brett, we're going to bring Brett back, okay? And we're going to get stuck. James is going to be so happy if we bring Brett back. I mean, that's one of his old favorites, okay? We're going to bring that in hot. So guys, I'm very excited about the situation. What do we do about popcats? So yeah, again, you can see I'm in one of these zones. Like I'm very long, okay? I'm incredibly long at the moment. You can see I'm 140,000 long Link. I'm 72,000 long 𝗵𝗵𝗏. I'm 170,000 long on Near. Okay, I've got a short now open because we banged into that rejection zone. So I'm trying to hedge that one a little bit, but I'm pretty long at the moment. So obviously trying to protect myself. And that's why I'm banging out a couple of hedge shorts and things like that. So Gary says, why did IMX run? There was news. They've got some investment or some partnership that they got going on there, bro. So something happening. Then in terms of hedge plays and things like that, here we go. So Popcat is knocking its first big rejection zone. What is this? VWAP 786. This is an area of interest. If you look at it on the daily, you can see this thing might want to grind a little bit higher at the moment. So in terms of key levels for me, 3236 for Popcat is a rejection zone. And then your next level there, 38 is going to be your next rejection area. Now, if you're feeling a little bit of FOMO, just remember, and I'm going to show you this chart. Popcat nearly went to $2.5, $3. It's now trading at 32 cents. So you missing absolutely nothing. Okay, you missing nothing. If this market continues to pump, you will definitely get a piece of that. And I don't think this is ever going back to all-time highs, but if this market continues some kind of meme coin run or some kind of bullish run, you're probably going to get about another 150% out of Popcat. And that's gonna happen over quite a few trades. So don't feel like you're missing out. It's like you see, don't feel like you're missing out. Let this thing settle. Like for me, for what I like to see, I cannot be long here. I can't long the top here of this Popcat at this resistance band. I'd rather try and hedge it short. I'd rather wait for an entry. So what can I see now for Popcat? Well, in terms of entries for me, we're going to keep this really simple. Look at that. Bang. Here's our entry zone, 0.28, guys. That is the safest zone I can give you now for Popcat in terms of a pullback zone, in terms of an entry zone. Now, if this Popcat runs a little bit more, let's say this thing pops again, another 5 or 10% or whatever runs to the upside, we're going to keep it super simple. The minute Popcat rejects, okay, that's when the business starts. So the minute it rejects, the business starts, and we start hunting entries, okay? And we're going to find that entry for you. I'm going to make sure you guys get these types of entries. This is my job, okay? This is why I'm here for you guys. And I didn't let you down yesterday, okay? Did I let you down yesterday? No, okay? Am I going to let you down this week? No, I'm going to make sure that you have your entries coming for some of these things, okay? So there's your 𝗵𝗵𝗏 play. There's your Popcat play. Be patient now, okay? Upside target 38, key support 28. I'm hedge short at the moment, okay? There it is. So you can see we loaded up there. Near short. I got a couple of near shorts here, okay? So you can see, guys, we trying to play things as safe as possible. I see my Bitcoin short is flat at the moment, okay? So we're going to let that one do its thing. And let's not forget, remember, when these meme coins start waking up, don't forget an old favorite. Look at this Goku. It's coming alive again, okay? Bouncing off the support I gave you guys and starting to wake up. So it's quite interesting when the whole ecosystem wakes up. All these things start pumping. Look at this thing, 134% up already. Okay, so you're going to start watching some of these old favorite memes. They're going to start rising from the dead, and they're going to start doing a couple of things. Now, let's talk what's going on in this bundle of joy of mine at the moment, and let's try and figure this one out. So you can see I'm short Magic. That was just that thing pumped the other day, and it just looked shortable. 𝗵𝗵𝗏, I've explained why I've opened that head short there. Near, you understand why I've got the head short. Near, you can see my stop is just below entry. I'm fully risk-free now on that trade. So if it does drop lower down, at least I'm in profit on the short. And then that, obviously, it was slightly risky long play there, but if it pumps higher, well, then we're printing, okay? Link, I want to hold this one. I've got it for you. And Ondo, that's the other one we need to talk about. So let's cover Link at the moment. So crypto ran quite bullish on Link. He's saying it's showing prime for a big setup, reaching the main falling wedge and horizontal resistance at 13. So he thinks this is a nice big upside move. And look, I tend to agree at the moment with him. And In terms of entry zones, did we hit our entry zone yesterday? Or did we hit our entry zone yesterday? Guys, I mean, look, I'm just so happy that some of you got some of these entries here on some of these things. So this is such a banger. I obviously added to that link in that zone. And now we at our first danger zone. Okay, you can see we're in trouble here at link. But key for me at the moment is this 50-day moving average. We have breached it. So nice to see a push through. What we want to do is obviously just hold any pullbacks and close above and start grinding higher. So what do we do now for link? If you got that entry yesterday, well, you're cooking. Okay, so you can put your entry or your stop at your entry now. That's going to make the most sense. Obviously, you want to try and give this thing a little bit of room to move. I mean, there's a chance that these alts might pop a little bit more. And if they do, you want to try and take advantage of that move on link to about 15, just under 16, those types of levels there. And that could be on the table there. So how do you do that now? What is the game plan? Well, this is the 4-hour chart that I'm watching, your first level of interest. And this is now a little bit degen, guys, but your first level of interest is going to be your 50-day moving average in 382. So that's 13.6. So you watching 13.6 there for me on link as a possible zone. And then your next bull zone for me on link is going to be 13.3. So as long as those two areas are holding for me, then we should hold this area and then we should grind up a little bit higher. So you're just typically going to look for a little bleed out here, little bleed out, bang into that zone, and then you want to try and continue it. Remember the rules. If you start closing under a trend, it generally turns bearish and you start your downtrend and you get that playing out. Okay, so you want to watch these rising trends closely. If you lose that, well, then you're going to get a little bit bearish. So Lani, the show will never be the same without background music. I agree. I can't do anything without this music. I told you guys when I started doing this, it kind of got me in the zone because I was so nervous to always stream to you guys when I started, because it's not really my thing, show business. And I used to get this music playing in my ears, and that got me ready. That got me ready to deliver the stuff. Okay, let's go. Ondo. Okay, also another banger here, guys. And Marcus is shorting Fartcoin. Mark, is it falling over, bro? Are we good? Is it shorting? No, it's flat. But yeah, I've got a little short here just in case it starts playing out. We got a little party there. Okay, let's go. Ondo. Okay, so update from yesterday. Bang, bang, straight into the zone. Look at that 618. Absolute perfection here on Ondo. Literally touching that 618 that we dropped there. 8357. What can I say? I'm lost for words. The most simple TA, and there it is on the 618. Okay. Now, what do we do? Where's our plan? What is our plan? Are we staying long Ondo? I'm happy to stay long Ondo on two conditions. Okay. Number one, that we obviously sentiment remains bullish, but number two, we want to hold the 50-day moving average. You can see this has been a key marker for us on a lot of altcoins. Now that we've cleared the 50-day MA, we don't really want to go back. Okay, so we want to add our 0.5. Let's put our 0.5 in there. Bang. Okay, there it is. You can see our 0.5 fib is tying in with that 50-day MA, and that gives us our first reasonable level here for pullback. Okay, so your support levels to watch on Ondo: 867, 8548, 867, 8548. These are the danger zones for me. These are the targets: 92, 95. Okay, 92 and 95. Again, guys, I cannot with a straight face tell you to take a long there. Okay, it's too much risk for me. That is where you get it. Remember, when the market's falling over, when you're shitting yourself, you watch Uncle Dill. Okay, I'm going to give you the good stuff, and we're going to drop into these zones, and that's where we're getting our longs. So we're looking for reversals. If it does melt down, guys, 867 down to 854. That area there, this chart is going to be in Chart Hackers for you guys. And make sure, those of you in Chart Hackers, I hope you use the charts. We put them in there every single day. Those of you that watch the show, well, come to Chart Hackers. In fact, you know what you can do? You can actually join. I've got some alpha for you. You can join our Chart Hackers TikTok. that we have started. Now, this is a whole new world for you guys. Okay, we smashed the YouTube stuff, we smashed our Discord, and now we're on TikTok, and we're giving you a little bit of another side of us. Okay, you have private conversations between me and some of the team. We're gonna drop for you guys. We're gonna do giveaways there, and you're gonna get trade setups as well and things like that, as well as some of the clips that you're gonna see. And you can see we've dropped a couple of videos. It's brand new. Nobody knows about it. Okay, so follow us here on TikTok. What was that comment there, James? He shat himself. What? I shat myself because I'm not listing. Oh, okay. Well, now you're listing, bro. And what was the next one? OnlyFans. Guys, Chart Hackers OnlyFans. That's coming next, okay? If you get us to 5,000 followers, and then we'll open a Chart Hackers OnlyFans. We'll do a Chart Hackers calendar as well. I'm sure Trader Jay looks great in a bikini, and yeah, we'll get him. We'll get him on there. Okay, Maruk, you can't lols. You have to use TikTok. Okay, you have to.
We've got Chart Hackers mankinis coming in for the whole team.
Exactly.
They'll be here tomorrow.
Literally, if we get enough followers on TikTok, you never know what you're going to see on there, guys. Okay, so follow us there. And guys, don't forget, Chart Hackers, it's a whole world, okay? If you're into trading, it's a whole world. I've got a team of killers in there, like proper traders, okay? Fucking shorts, longs, all day long, scalping, swing trading, everything is going down in here for you guys. Obviously, all my usual stuff that you see on the show is there, but I cannot speak highly enough of this team that we have in Chart Hackers. There's one of them, shirtless trading on Banter Plus. I'm not against that either. I'll get my boobs out. I don't mind. Okay, let's talk Hyperliquid. Now, this thing has also been a pain train trying to short this thing. There's a bullish sentiment around this is obviously an issue for me, but a whale created a new wallet, deposited 9 million USDC into Hyperliquid to short Hype today. This whale has placed limit orders worth 638K at 18.7 and 19 to short. Is it time to short Hype? Okay, he's obviously either watching the show or he's watching the 100-day moving average. Mia likes the idea of Jay shirtless. Okay, yeah, movies. Some movies. That's nothing wrong with that. So, guys, remember yesterday, Render rejected off the 100-day MA. 𝗏𝗏 rejected off the 100-day MA. Here is Hype. Now, obviously not AI related. This is an L1 deck situation. I still don't even know fundamentally what the story is yet. But this is your resistance. If this guy's onto something, well, this could be your rejection area. Do I agree with the sentiment? Look at that. It's pretty bearish, but this cash flow is a problem. Okay, this cash flow is super green, and it's still kind of holding up there. So that is a little bit of a concern for me from that front. If I saw this cash flow dripping down and this volume dropping down, I'd get a little bit more excited. Now, not saying it won't reverse, but looking at that and from past experience, remember, I try to short it here. And they dropped me down, pumped me up, dropped me down, pumped me up. And at the end, I took the stop right up there. Okay, so it was absolute waste of time. And we got like a 6% move or something to the downside. So all I can say is Hype. I'm a little bit cautious now of this thing. And look, mixed signals to the downside. But what you do know is there's some other dude trying to short at 638K. Okay, that's quite big. Okay, so maybe he knows something, okay? And Kimmy says, yeah, Chart Hackers calendar. I think we can do that. I'm sure we can get Jay's movies out. Another big one for us, guys, is Stacks. Now, remember, if Bitcoin is going to wake up, we need to pay a little bit more attention to Stacks. Stacks has obviously been doing okay over the last while, but it feels like one of the forgotten orphans. And I think we need to start watching the Stacks. The Stacks is obviously a pumper. And you can see right now, this is Stacks on the weekly that I'm watching, and it's clearly sitting at a major resistance band. So for me, if you're longing Stacks here, you are longing into major weekly resistance. But the super exciting thing here, when you see this type of setup playing out, is if you get the pop, you can often use the comeback here as major support when everyone is bearish for quite a nice long, okay, on these things. So what I can suggest is, yeah, let Stacks pop the 77 zone. This is now weekly stuff. I'm talking about the guys looking for the big moves here. And I'm talking about, you know, there's moves like this, potentially. 39, 78%, things like that. So I'm not talking about a short-term little scalp here. I'm talking about like a pump through the weekly, then a full-on reset of 4-hour, 8-hour oscillators on this return, and then a big long to the upside. Okay, so Stacks, guys, your big support is going to be the 77, 78 level, those types of things there. Once you start breaking that, we can use that as support later on. Upside targets for me, 1.06. 1.37. Those types of things is what we are looking at. Mia, are you trying to short the Nasdaq at the moment? Let me know. Is she going short Nasdaq yet? Okay, let's see what else we got. Okay, here's 𝗂𝗚𝗍𝗔𝗍. This was a little scalp, guys. So in Hackers, during the day, I've got a trading channel, my own channel here called Trading Setups. And I just drop a couple of nuggets, a couple of interesting things. Here's the little 𝗂𝗚𝗍𝗔 long that I took. But I said, look, it's a mini banger because the whole market is ripping. So I could have literally longed a turd here and it still would have gone up. Okay, so, I don't want to take credit when there's so much momentum. But there was a trade on the table and I dropped that there for the Hackers, guys. So 𝗂𝗚𝗍𝗔𝗍, anybody who took that with me, there's two targets that I'm interested in. First one is right here, 9.3, and your next one is your 50-day MA at 102. So nice little move there potentially for us. 93, 102, that's where it's at. And then here's a notable thing for you guys. The XRP bulls, we have finally broken a trend. Okay, so yeah, trend break traders. Here's a break of a downtrend on the 8-hour. Look at this. This is the trend from the highs, okay, 15th or 16th of Jan. Downtrend here. We finally popped this downtrend. Is there a sign here that XRP could be waking up? So you can see what's happened here. 50-day moving average rejection. Okay, look at that. We've got a problem there at 2.2, 2.21. That's a problem zone. What does this tell me? It tells me later on when we blow through that area, just like we've seen with 𝗬𝗎, we're going to try and use that as our comeback support. So when we pop through, okay, so let's see if we consolidate, bang, we're probably going to reject at that VWAP, that 100-day, and then we're going to look for that type of long on XRP. So if you're not in XRP right now, 2.2 is going to be a nice marker for you to play with later on. So if we start breaking through that, you might want to start nibbling around. And if we get a nice push through that, then you know that 2.2 you're going to use as your first line of support on XRP. And then in terms of current downside, well, guys, keep it simple. Okay, you can see it's not the best mover today, but in terms of levels that you can use if you are playing in XRP at the moment, I find it quite strange. It never tapped that 382, but levels you can use 2.09 as support and 2.03 as support that you can use. Cunning George says gold short is printing. Please send gold to 0. Where's this thing? You see. Okay, this is good. This tells us this macro situation is potentially changing a little bit. Okay, okay, so look, the next time we can add to the short, we need a pump. Okay, the next pump we get, we can add to that short there, Cunning George. Okay, so wait for the pump on gold, and then we can add a little bit. Obviously depends on your time horizon, obviously, as as to how long you want to sit in this thing. Okay, so next pump we're gonna go. Maruk says TP on gold 0. Literally, we're sending gold to 0. Let's look at the gold chart. Okay, let's do this quickly. Let's do this properly.
Piper, he had called this about a week ago that he wanted the short at 3,500. His TP was 3,250.
3,250, guys. There you go. Piper, he's also in Chart Hackers. He's one of our team members there. 3,250. That's nice. Look there. Okay, that's it there. Maruk, look there. Bang. Nice previous daily resistance levels. That's a nice zone. Okay, makes sense to me. Do we have some fibbage here in this area? Let's stick that up there. Yeah, nice. You got a 0.5 over there. That's nice. And you got the 618 a little bit lower down. We know these things work on 618 as well. There, 3165, 3250. Those are the zones for me. Okay, and remember, you can trade this gold. You just trade 𝗵𝗆𝗔𝗍 on LBank. Literally, 𝗵𝗆𝗔𝗍 tracks gold. So you just go into the show description and you go to more and you sign up to LBank. There's no KYC. Sign up there, you trade gold. Okay, 𝗵𝗆𝗔𝗍, it's there waiting for you. You want to trade stocks? BTCC, no KYC, guys. Okay, have lots of fun there. Okay. There you go. You got my sentiment. Ultimate resistance, possibly one more pop through on these altcoins, but I'm a little bit cautious. You can see I'm heavily long at the moment and now playing the hedging game. I just want to see what happens next. If the market keeps pumping, there's a little bit of cover now on some of those shorts. And if the market starts pumping, we net long. But if it's dumping, there's a little bit of cover on some of those shorts to the downside, and we can use the profits on the shorts if we have a bullish bias to now add more to our long position. So when the shorts drop onto the bullish zones, the 382s, the 618s, we can close the shorts, buy some more longs, okay? Add to those positions. That's the strategy if it's a bull run. that strategy can work and you can grow some massive size. Okay, so that is what I'm looking at here. That is my bias at the moment. Let's see how it plays out. Tomorrow we'll have a whole new story. The market will have played out and we'll have a whole new plan for you guys as well. So I'm super excited about that. Always nice at a little bit of a pump. Okay, good luck, guys. See you later.
Then you are an asshole.